All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're diving deep into some brand new national data that pulls back the curtain on how Australian growers and advisors, people just like you, really make those big, tough calls on the farm.
You know that feeling, right? You're staring down a major decision. The market's all over the place, the weather's a question mark, and you have to make a call that could shape your business for years. That pressure, it's absolutely real.
Well, if you've ever felt that way, I'm here to tell you, you are in very, very good company. And that's not just a nice thing to say. We've got the data to prove it. We looked at responses from nearly 1,000 of your peers from right across Australia to figure out what's going on.
So first up, let's talk about that pressure. Just how common is this feeling of discomfort when you're making a big decision? Let's put some hard numbers on it. Okay, so check this out. Across more than 600 farm decisions that we analyzed, growers said they felt a high level of comfort only about a quarter of the time, just 24%. Kind of low, isn't it?
And this chart really paints the full picture. I mean, look at that. 39% of the time, you and your peers are feeling low comfort. That means you are actually way more likely to feel a whole lot of discomfort than you are to feel super confident. This isn't some personal weakness. It is a genuine, industry-wide challenge that everyone is facing.
Okay, so if feeling uncomfortable is pretty much the norm, what's actually causing it? Let's drill down and get specific about the decisions that are really giving growers a headache. And here they are, the top 3 offenders, nationally: grain marketing, machinery and infrastructure, and land purchasing. We're talking nearly 4 out of 5 of you find these decisions difficult. And that makes perfect sense, doesn't it? These are the huge ones, they're strategic, they cost a fortune, and you can't just hit undo. There's no free trial when you're buying the farm next door.
So we know what's difficult. Now let's shift gears and look at how you're all actually tackling these big decisions. What's your style?
Just take a second and think about it for yourself. When you have to make a call, do you go straight to the spreadsheet? Do you rely on that gut feeling you've developed over years of experience? Or is it really just about what's practical and possible right here, right now?
Well, what the data tells us is that for growers, it's a real mix. The pure logic and calculations, the head stuff, that's only about a third of the whole story. Your gut feeling, your intuition, and the hands-on practicalities, they're carrying just as much weight. It's a huge reminder that just providing the numbers is often not enough to make a decision feel right.
And because of this mix, this blend of head, gut, and hands, it leads to something pretty fascinating. The research found that 2 very different, almost opposite ways of thinking pop up again and again across the industry.
We're talking about fast thinking versus slow thinking. Fast thinking is that gut feel, that instinct that's built on experience. Slow thinking, on the other hand, is more analytical, it's deliberate, you're running the calculations. Now here's the kicker. The study found that about half of growers lean one way and half lean the other. There is no single right way to do it. The key is just understanding which style is your go-to.
So, with all that in mind, where are the biggest opportunities for you to get even better? Where can you really strengthen your decision-making process? Well, the data points to some really clear hot spots.
These 4 areas just kept coming up in the data. The biggest gains can be made in reviewing past decisions to see what worked, actually running the calculations, keeping a laser focus on profit, and being more open to taking smart, strategic risks. Don't think of these as weaknesses. Think of them as your upgrade path.
And listen to this. This number is wild. Only 2%. That's just 2 growers out of 100 who strongly apply all the key steps of a really solid decision-making process. What that tells me is that this isn't about a few people needing to catch up. It means nearly everyone has a massive opportunity to improve.
Okay, so we found the hotspots for improvement. But let's be honest, why should you even bother? What's the payoff? Let's connect the dots between having a better process and the real-world benefits for your business. It's a pretty straightforward question, and luckily, the data gives us a really powerful 2-part answer.
First off, higher comfort. Simple as that. The data shows a direct statistical link. The stronger your process is, the more you review, you calculate, you frame things up, the more confident and comfortable you're going to feel. It's really about swapping out that gut-wrenching uncertainty for a bit of structure.
And second, it actually makes you less risk-averse. When you have a solid process, you have the confidence to take those calculated risks that really pay off. And that is so important for making the most of the good years, for maximizing profit, which, at the end of the day, is what drives a stronger business.
So we've talked about the pressure, the specific problems, how you think, and what the payoff is. Let's wrap this all up and talk about what you can do with this information.
So, if you take one thing away, let it be this. Feeling that pressure is completely normal. Those big strategic calls, they're tough for everyone. But there are super clear, specific areas, like reviewing your decisions and running the numbers, where you can make massive improvements. And we know for a fact that a better process pays off, both in your confidence and in your bottom line.
And honestly, this is exactly why programs like RiskWi were created. It's not about some expert telling you what to do. It's designed specifically to help you, the growers and advisors, build up your skills in those exact improvement hotspots we just talked about, to help you turn all that messy data into clearer, more confident actions.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. What if, by working on your process a little bit, your next huge decision didn't have to be a source of stress? What if instead it felt like the moment you were about to grab your next big opportunity?